Hello, everyone. It's your buddy, Travis Woloshyn here with another episode of Mystery Titans Theater. But before we get to that, going to make sure you click like and subscribe here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on the Patreon. You're going to see another link in the description below, as well as a link to our Twitch channel. There it is. Make sure you follow both of those. I mean, Patreon costs you a little bit of scratch, and you can subscribe on Mystery Titans Theater. The new emotes popping up every day on the Twitch channel too. So both of them are really fun. Watch us live there. And our next live show, that's what I'm going to get to you right now. Starting, February 9th. This is a Friday. This one's coming up soon, and we're going to have a quick turnaround. But February 9th, Friday, it is Sean Whitaker getting together for the Outlaws. You know the Outlaws. That's me. That's our buddy Kelly Nelson. That's Sean Whitaker. And of course, Johnny Hedgepath, who is a saint. I'm sick of people saying otherwise. That's going to be Sean's 50th birthday celebration. That's going to be a great one. February 9th, join us 7 p.m. twitch.tv/Jarvis Washing Machine. Then a really quick turnaround in 8 days. We get back with the United Underworld. Robert Hawkins joins us on February 17th. Because then we're off until March 2nd, in which we're joined by, we go back to New York, Robert Silva, a great friend of the show. And then March 16th, our 100th episode will be who other than the Frightful Four, and we're joined by our great friend, James Hamilton. April 5th, still up in the air, to be determined. Stick with us. And then on April 20th, 420, the great Nick Pesky McGregor. Yeah, enjoy today's episode because it's with another great Pacific Northwest wrestler, Parm Singh Mann. Really fun guy, one of the best friends I've made since I've been fortunate to get into this business. Yeah, and that just leaves one last thing here. I was saving this one, but I guess I might as well do it now just because it recommends. I do not condone these things, but again, this is how if you're making the transition. So if you got your friend who's on acid and marijuana, you're going to transition them to vodka, acid, and marijuana, and then Zoloft. Finally, Zoloft, vodka martini, acid, and pot. There we go. All right. Keep watching, friends. Have fun. Stay safe. And give us your money, will you? Would it kill you to give us a little bit of scratch? I'm telling. Hey, everybody, it's Mystery Titans Theater. I'll get to the proper introductions here quickly, but I want you to listen really carefully to what the great Dick Graham says here to open. Everybody loves Dick Whirly. All right, welcome to Mystery Titans Theater. My name is Travis Woloshyn. I think that laugh you heard is Dick Whirly's biggest fan, Johnny Hedgepath. Johnny, how you doing?
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love. Look, I think Dick Graham is wonder. Not Dick Graham. God, you got me. That whole Dick Whirly thing's got me so confused. Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome. And of course, we got Ken Birds of Wrestling, the Chief J historian, the third brainbuster, Kelly T. Nelson. Kelly, how you doing?
Doing good. Tonight's the official start of when we watch anything WWE related. It has to be Vince Senior era.
Yeah. I like it. We are joined again because, and this time this should stick because boy, last time we had this guy on, he brought us a ton of great matches and a lot of it got trimmed by YouTube, but he's an amazing wrestler, a great friend, really great guy, knows a lot about wrestling. Welcome back, Parm Singh Mann.
Hello. Pleasure to be here. I am now aware that if you go 20 different companies, one of them will copyright strike the shit out of you at the very least.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Wow. So this is a crazy opener here.
Very much more stacked opener than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm. No, this is a very interesting card. I'll just say that. We're going to see a mix of the good, the bad, and the ugly tonight.
That is very exciting because everything pre-90s is generally a bit. I've seen a little bit, of course. I'm not like completely ignorant, but there's still like a general massive blind spot for me. So I appreciate this chance to dip my toes in and learn.
That's awesome. Yeah, this was our Kelly and I's and our friend Pete and Parv's bread and butter when we all met doing a podcast on 79 through 82 WWF.
So you guys might have covered some of this, right?
I looked over the card. I think just one match we reviewed. So everything else. But I can tell you the story behind this match because it's an interesting combination here.
Oh, man.
So I'm not sure why it's Gurria and Andre. I think maybe just because they maybe did a promo where like, because Martel was was.
I think I got pretty nice hair too, eh, boss? How
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah.
I was about to say, Andre, you and I have a fantastic hair.
It's pretty tough to decide who's the best with that. But because Gurria and Martel, of course, were a regular tag team, so I'm thinking maybe they brought in Andre as like I'm gonna bring in a hired gun sort of thing. Because they were feuding with the Moondogs, but as you'll notice, there's only one Moondog.
Yeah, that too.
And that's because I believe this was when Moondog King, because originally it was Rex and King. King was Canadian, and he went to Canada, and when he tried to get back into the States, he was busted because he had I believe a criminal record or something, and they wouldn't let him back into the States. So at this point, they had to get a desperate emergency replacement. So that's why Sergeant Slaughter's taking the spot of King here, and going forward will be Moondog's spot, of course, replacing King.
Holy shit.
And they said King got hit by a car.
Yeah, on TV they actually said he got hit by a car. Or like Albano said it in a promo.
Hilarious.
And one last thing, this is not the last we'll see of Sergeant Slaughter in the ring tonight. He's doing double duty because he was already booked in another match. So that shows you how much of an emergency replacement he was. So I've heard of this match, but we never reviewed it on Titan, so this is new. So I'll shut up now and we'll go ahead and watch.
Yeah, but I want to give a shout out to Brad McNeil, elegant microphone on this announcer, noticing, and the Dukes, and how King was living the gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
That they introduced him, if you didn't notice. WWF did this. They didn't call them Moondog Rex or Moondog Spot or whatever. This time it was Rex Moondog, of the Hampton Moondogs. You know,
I was gonna ask about that because Rex Moondog is there his first name's King, last name Moondog? Hell of a hierarchy there in the family.
Yeah. Yes. And of course, Rex is Latin for king, so that was like a or whatever.
Well, I love that because there's been a ton of them in this Moondog family, and they all have dog names.
Yeah. My father's name was Mr. Moondog. Call me King.
Was King a popular dog name? I guess it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now after I said it,
not anymore. Not anymore. It's
right. Yeah. I can.
It's like Edna for ladies. You know, just you don't hear it much anymore.
Someone should bring it back. Wow. Crazy.
So is Cal on the call too?
Yeah, Cal's on the call.
Oh gosh.
This is prime Dick and Cal right here. April 18th, 1981.
Yeah.
That's the date.
So Parm, the announce team for the Prism shows. Prism was a pay service that showed Philadelphia sports and movies. Okay. The announce team was Dick Graham, who was an employee of Prism and not a wrestling guy, and Cal Rudman, who was a well-known music mogul in the Philly area. Great guy. Yeah. Tons of work for charity. Their commentary's insane. It's insane. It's my favorite commentary I've ever heard, because during long, boring matches, Cal will just start going off into just insanity, and Dick's along for the ride. But when things get excited, there's never two more guys more excited to be at a wrestling match, just having the time of their life.
That's like one of the perfect combinations for commentary, really. Like, entertaining enough to be like, if the match is interesting, you have something to react to. And if not, like, enough to be like, oh, if they're hyped, I'm hyped type deal.
Yeah, they were always hyped.
Like Vince Scully.
Yeah. Cal would do stuff like well, I'll tell you, Dick, earlier today, Tony Gurria, Rick Martel, and I hit the discotheque, and let me tell you, if I could just get the leftovers that these guys were, I mean, just insane stories and shit. He was wonderful.
The afternoon visit to the discotheque.
Those Philadelphia discotheques are rocking in 2 in the afternoon. Let me tell you,
discotheque brunch. It's a new thing we're trying to get going here.
Well, disco is so popular. Yeah, it was 24 hours a day at that point. The music never stopped.
Dick Worley in his stupid pants. Ugh.
I got that fever Saturday night, Sunday morning, Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday afternoon fever. That's the craziest fever.
So Travis, Gurria was on the Briscoe and Bradshaw show.
Yeah.
Really good. And I can't even begin to try to do his actual accent because he lives in Florida. He's retired in Florida, of course, and still has the greatest hair, but it's all gray. And he's got a Kiwi accent via living in America his entire life. So he's like a Kiwi from the Bronx. It's fucking wild.
Sounds like a good movie. Sounds like a good title.
A Kiwi from
the Bronx.
That was a failed Paul Hogan comeback vehicle.
Yeah, he's there to help show the New Zealander the ropes. Hey Mary, don't worry, I'll show you around this neighborhood.
It's the extended Dundee universe he was trying to create.
Yes. The Dundee-verse. Into the Dundee-verse.
Let me go get my paper.
Yeah. There's the thumbnail.
Yeah. So Slaughter was on absolute fire at this point.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few matches from around this time. The prior month was the cage match with Backlund at the Spectrum. Put it into context. What a bump that was.
Wow. Yeah, of course we remember Yahoo Serious. Who are you talking about, Moose?
I do like that bit a lot too.
Andre is still quite mobile too.
Yeah.
Definitely no 60s Andre, but he's definitely enough.
Yeah, no. Or early 70s. Yeah, strong Kobayashi match, Andre. No, he's pretty good. Actually, even in '84 at the cage match, if you've ever seen it against Kamala from Maple Leaf Gardens, he goes off the top rope in that one.
Holy shit!
I don't know if I've seen that one specific, but I do agree that like he lasts pretty long, just not like pure prime, but he's got the psychology there enough.
It's almost the haircut. Once he goes to short hair, he's done.
Yeah.
Coincides with the back.
That's who ruined his career. Big John Studd, and you know what ruined his career? Teaming with SD Jones against Big John Studd. No wonder he got a fucking haircut. That's the first. I was watching that when it aired, and I was right at that age where I knew wrestling was on the up and up, but I still kind of believed. I see Andre out there with SD Jones against these two guys, and immediately my mind went, well, something bad's gonna happen here. Sure enough.
Crazy Sarge bumping around here, and he's got to work later too.
Yeah. That's wild that they couldn't find a replacement, that Sarge had to work twice in this.
Yeah.
I got it, Maggot.
Yeah, I don't know if there's more to the story or not. I just know he's.
I'll be your. Ouch!
Oh,
Not today, boss. I know it is weird.
Even ignoring the Andre movements, the reaction to just like his tag point, the way he bumps and feeds for Surge's Slaughter is just like a little bit off, a little few steps before taking a bump type deal. I do love Slaughter selling at this though.
He seems teeny tiny, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is wild because Sergeant Slaughter is a gigantic human being.
You know, I met him.
Oh, that's right.
Met the man.
Yeah, he called you a maggot. Was that right?
No, I told him how much I love this series with the Sheik. And
now we have a show where we drink beer and watch show matches, and we think you're so cool.
Would you come on?
Yes, yeah. No, and he said, those were great times. Those were exciting times. And then he asked his guy there with him if he could put me in a Cobra clutch, and no such luck.
That's right. You should have told him
there's a lawsuit pending on that.
You should have told him that as a little kid you were on his side during the Iraq War.
Got a raw deal there. As a Canadian, we don't like those damn Yanks.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got some literature for you, sir. That's the main reason I made this trip and came to this WrestleCon. Because I know we see eye to eye on this. It'd take me out of there in no time. That was like Gurria made a mistake of getting an extra shot on Sarge there. Did you see that? This is a wild match. It's
He's
like an
fired
All
up.
Japan match.
Yeah.
Or All Japan tag where like everybody's
unusual teammates.
Yes.
This is like a war tag team match. Just like the weird amalgamation of partners you'd see in a war match.
Yeah. All Japan. A lot of
This is also illegal because no tag was made I was aware of, but perhaps I didn't see it.
What the? Oh, nice.
Oh, my Kiwis.
where you'd have two or guys that were feuding in the States teaming with each other in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Parm, when I first discovered wrestling, and I didn't watch it a lot, it was just something that was on once in a while. Like, so, late 70s, very early age, Tony Gurria became like my favorite wrestler. There was just something about him. I thought no one had tattoos at the time, and he had this cool sailor tattoo and the cool hair. And I was all about Tony Gurria. And then when I got back into wrestling hardcore, like 83, 84, he was a jobber he was a job guy on Saturday morning TV, but you always thought he had a chance. And my mind was having to figure out, like, wasn't he a winner? Why is he a loser now? I don't understand.
You think this is a matinee, Kelly?
Very
Maybe.
possibly.
Moose says he sees a sign that says 158.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they often did, Boston, Philly.
That could be why, and that's Kevin's. We're trying to figure out why Andre
Let me see.
is opening here. If he is probably maybe working somewhere later in the night.
That makes sense. I will get the answer to that.
Let's say, what a bad tag partner, Andre.
Look at this. He's a lunatic. Everybody's.
Yeah. The heels cheat a whole bunch of Andre. I do not see it. Heels got from face. Okay, this is
Damn
real.
it, Whirly.
It's fucking Whirly. Whirly's a stinky referee with his stupid flared pants.
Everybody loves Dick Whirly.
That was hilarious, dude. See, now that's how you fuck with me, Travis. That's funny.
Yes.
Because as it is now, I just don't watch the intros to the YouTube show anymore.
Okay,
so
good.
Have
good.
fun.
Good.
April 18th. Yes.
Greedy, almost immediate kick out there. Greedy.
This was a matinee, and the evening show was in Landover, Maryland at the Cap Center.
About an hour away,
Yeah.
depending on traffic.
But no Andre on that card, it doesn't look like.
No,
Maybe it was.
Gurria versus Moondog Rex in a singles match. And Moondog Rex against Johnny Rods in a singles match. Weird.
Wow.
Crazy. Busy day for everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, it was the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Andre wanted to go on first so he could hit one of those hot Philadelphia afternoon discotheques.
Just because I'm staying for the next 3 days.
He was supposed to go to Landover, but instead he was boogieing all afternoon on South Street.
Say he drank a barrel of wine on the way to the.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, the nails.
Hey, that's not nice at all.
That's one of my favorite calls ever. Was in the Hogan Bundy match on the Saturday night's main event. Or no, it was Hogan Morocco, and Bundy smashed him at the end. Morocco like did the scratch on Hogan's back. Jesse doesn't say anything. Hogan does it to Morocco, and Morocco's like, "Can you look at that Gino, that cheating Hogan?" He's like, you didn't say anything when Morocco did it, Jess. It's like, Morocco's got his nails cut.
Man, holy crap. Awesome.
Big suplex.
I think Andre's taken as many bumps as anyone else in this match.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's still quite mobile at this time.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe he had to catch a flight to Japan. That's why it was
maybe
early.
I'm sticking with
Like, that was
got
nuts.
drunk. I'm sticking with got drunk in Philly. That's
drunk feels like the easiest answer. Like, they didn't even like try to bug
Andre wasn't
they
known
just assumed
for
it was
missing
inevitable.
shows. He would work drunk.
Yeah, that's true. Andre was driven around and worked drunk.
So the match was thrown out.
Yeah.
Just like an All Japan tag match.
Totally. That was a wild one. Maybe they were preparing him for his trip. Yeah. If that is it. Look at that. Holy shit. This is fantastic.
That was from Cal Rudman.
Yeah.
He was like,
there was some great gifts out of this match.
Yeah. Hey, that's a nice office chair.
Yeah, this is before Andre's gut and ass ate his tights. He still looked good.
Who's this guy?
I think his last name was Wygoff. I can't remember.
Right,
Yeah,
I think we've seen him before.
We definitely saw him on Titans.
Yeah.
Korea. That's great. Take a picture. Hang it in the Louvre.
All right. I think that was my first Tony Garea match.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Not a bad way.
So I imagine now he's one of your favorite wrestlers too.
Parm's gonna have the hair by the end of the year.
I love it. Great idea.
This is just the new Boom idea. I'm just Tony Garea for now.
Coming out for all the pull aparts. Coming out for all the pull aparts.
Yeah, in his jeans, no shirt.
No, man. What I'm saying is the Parm needs a hairdo like that.
Well, I don't think I could pull out the Andre here, so I guess that's the only.
Yeah, go with the Garea. Go with Garea. That's how we got rich in
great
real estate.
suplex. Man, this is like
40
a
years
hit.
later, someone will be talking about my tag match with Slade, the Andre the Giant of the indie wrestling.
That's a real hidden gem, you guys.
That wasn't
especially especially for seeing Slaughter and Andre working together as much as they did in that.
Yeah, they have a singles match around the same time at MSG. That's pretty good.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it. It was on Titan.
No. So Kevin says Andre wrestled at the Superdome for Mid-South after this.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Wow.
Really?
Nice.
That night?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Philly in. So okay, first match, Philadelphia. It finishes up around 2:00, and then he's got to go to Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, they flew him there, definitely.
They must have.
I remember this guy.
Did you? Okay, so it's
Adam
Hangman.
Adam Hangman Page, yeah.
Yeah.
From
already got
Europe,
the idea.
The Hangman.
Red Skeleton, your referee.
The Duke asking, is it the 10th anniversary of Titans yet?
It passed August. Yeah.
Speaking of which, for those of you out there in YouTube land who haven't become Patreons yet, we're going to start dropping classic Titans on the Patreon now. Yeah, I mean, now you could just do a deep search and find them, but or you could give us a few shekels and we'll provide them for you.
Yeah, and they're going to be digitally remastered. I've been working on them day and night.
Dude, did you change all my guns into walkie-talkies? Because fuck you, dude.
I added a lot of those big, dang it, I should know what those things are called. The big lizards on Tatooine that just kind of walk past.
Oh gosh, I had one. I had the toy one. I don't know the name.
I got to take my card away from me. So Kevin said they worked 2 matches. Andre worked 2 matches. Because there's a tag tournament.
Right.
Tag title tournament. First round, him and Dusty over Ava and Sika. Dubaks. Yeah. Thank you, Duke.
Nice.
And then in the second round, a grappler and Super Destroyer.
Dude, Andre had his working boots on this day, man.
Yeah. That's so rad.
Yeah. It's a shame. There's no footage really of any of those early Superdome shows. It'd be great to see.
Dubaks. That would be funny if Dubaks got bleeped on the Twitch chat. Yeah. It sounds like a term that somebody might misinterpret.
So this is the Great Yatsu, right?
Yeah,
Kelly?
Yoshiaki Yatsu. Speaking of All Japan later on in the 80s, he'd be one of the top stars in All Japan, and Jumbo Tsuruta's main tag team partner for a while.
Well, where was he the great Yatsu?
Here. Yeah.
It was here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Is
think
it like that guy's not the great, not the Hangman,
No,
right? He looks like, if he was a great Yatsu, I think he'd be like a ravine gimmick.
The Hangman's actually, or was from Quebec, I believe.
The Canadian Hangman?
Yeah, but he was billed from Europe as the Hangman, just somewhere in the continent of Europe.
It's more foreigner-esque, so clearly.
The Hangman.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they still had Hangmen, we know, in the 80s in Europe. But Yatsu,
Vince McMahon Sr. was smart enough not to have the Hangman be from the South. Just saying.
He was managed by Freddie Blassie, so he did have.
So he could have been a foreign heel. Look at this guy.
Oh, look at that! Looked like Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent.
But in this match, they introduced him with his full real name. They didn't call him the Great Yatsu. Was that before or after this?
I think it just varied from place to place almost.
I've never heard of the Great Yatsu before. I've only really know this guy for his All Japan work.
Yeah, this was like an excursion, a learning excursion, as they were known.
Yeah,
Yatsu worked here, and then later Akira Maeda worked in WWF in 1983 as like a low on the totem pole guy, losing to George the Animal Steel and stuff. It was very embarrassing for him. Yatsu was not pushed, but he was protected a bit better.
Yeah, you already tell, like, he's getting a little bit more respect. He's the more serious wrestler here.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's beneath them to do a job to the legendary George the Animal Steel, Kelly?
No,
I'm not. But
Maeda, George the Animal Steel.
If you know Maeda and his ego, it was very beneath him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, most people, I'd be like, "Oh, that's random." Like Maeda, like, yeah, that checks out. Maybe the least surprising thing I've heard of all.
Yeah.
Kevin, Firestone Walker Brewing Company, based out of Paso Robles, California. You might know it. That's what I'm having today. Mind Haze IPA.
Hey, these guys have seen this picture, Parm, but I'll show it up here as best you can see it. Right there, you see a very young Johnny Hedgepeth doing the job for George the Animal Steel in the back of the video.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
I'm realizing I could have just enlarged your like video feed instead of like putting my face all the way up here. Oh.
God, man, I thought I'd forgotten, Kelly. I thought I'd forgotten all about this schlub. And here he is back, and I'm not talking about Yatsu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we saw him a few times, not too many, from what I
will. I'm kind of vibing with this guy. Kind of a fan.
You're on the Hangman bandwagon? Oh, that's a mouthful.
So far, I'm a hanger.
A hanger on.
He's a heavy
40
hanger.
years too late. That could have, changed his career.
I popped him. I know when I pop. Sometimes I pop Travis and he pulls away from the microphone.
Yeah. Bulldog. And he's jumping. Oh, come on.
Could have been a move in another timeline.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is legendarily a hot crowd, even in a matinee. They are not into this, especially after that last match.
Yeah.
Well, they needed the cooler after.
Well, just because Philadelphia a hot crowd doesn't make them a good crowd. They gotta appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey! I grew up I am the Philly crowd, sir. This is I'm from New Jersey, but Philadelphia was my wrestling home.
Okay, you're Philadelphian, like Hangman's European. Okay.
From Philadelphia.
Hold on. I mean,
Johnny Hedgepeth.
It depends on what part of Europe, but he's Canadian, so if he's British.
We are technically part of Europe.
Okay.
If you read a book.
I lived in New Jersey. It was an hour away from Philadelphia.
Anyway, it wasn't one of the biggest of crowds for the Spectrum. It was only 7,278.
And it was a Saturday?
And it was, I assume, a Saturday.
Yeah.
Huh. Kevin telling us crazy Yatsu story as he tried to make it to Japan's Olympic wrestling team in '88, but the IOC wouldn't allow him to compete because he was a professional wrestler.
Really?
Wow, weak. Weak cowards.
No professionals allowed.
That's
right.
bullshit.
Well, that's probably what it was, right?
Oh, the no professionals allowed? Yeah, okay. I came to bit him on the ass.
Yeah.
Funny. Because the guys like Saruda went to the Olympics before.
Yeah, a lot
or
of
like
got into wrestling.
or bad news.
Bad news, yeah. Lots of guys.
Most recent thing would be like Chihiro Hashimoto, who still does train with the Olympic team. Well,
Oh,
I mean, things have been changed over the years.
Yeah. I think too, because I remember being in high school, and my high school was one of those wrestling powerhouse schools, and all the guys who were wrestlers and the coaches hated pro wrestling with every fiber of their fucking being. Right. I think that Kurt Angle changed a lot of those guys' minds.
Sure. Really
like, yeah, okay.
I get it.
Not Mike Rotunda?
Nah. You think?
Pre-IRS?
Bob Backlund didn't either.
Yeah, Syracuse. Rick Steiner. Varsity Club.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Varsity Club gimmick was great because it was ridiculous that these grown men were wearing their college jackets. That was so funny. You know, just like,
okay.
Exactly. It was a Polkai thing.
Yeah.
Well, and that Kevin Sullivan was the mastermind behind it.
And the mastermind behind this, a bunch of old men trying to relive their childhood as college athletics is Satan? Because he still wore the robe and everything.
Yeah, he was still the Prince of Darkness, basically.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
You know, Dusty wanted him to dress him up like a coach, and he just wasn't going to have it. We'll give you a whistle, baby. Devil, I can see it. A cap.
How about I make you like a Vince Lombardi, coach? With the pointy ears on the fedora.
No, you're that coach that everybody hates. You know the one. Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Barry Switzer at
it's
the time, maybe.
It's 1989.
Barry Switzer. Mike Shanahan. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
As a random aside, I'm knowing Yatsuhachi missed 2 different Olympics. He competed in 1976. But
I thought he may have, yeah.
1980, he missed out because Japan was boycotting along with America.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why the Hangman didn't go represent Europe as well.
Team Europe.
Plus, he was just too busy hanging people. They don't frown on you but he was doing it amateurly.
Yeah.
So he couldn't.
Have you ever hung anyone professionally?
It was a side hustle. So he was still eligible. It's bullshit. Like he was hanging people left, right, and center.
He's really pushing for hanging to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Demonstration sport, at least.
Yeah, you know.
So would that involve like being hanged and like for a neck strength type deal, or more of the efficiency of the hanging?
Yeah.
No, it's the hanger.
How many guys
hangman.
you can hang?
Or how long you can last. It's kind of a Michael Hutchins thing. Sorry, pardon me.
Both. It's
so we're only a month away from another. That being the replacement for Power Slap, really.
Yeah.
They call it gasping.
Pairs gasping. Synchronized gasping.
They know we're talking about how these are the toughest athletes you will ever find.
Yeah. Oh man.
This was more there with that knee block, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going for the charge of immediate knee, little proto MMA stuff right there. From my Hangman.
Parm's in love with the Hangman. That's awesome. Of all the guys.
Like this is more like a standard opener.
I know.
Yeah.
My guy. This is my
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely is.
But it does have a different vibe to it for sure than some of the normal guys we get, obviously.
Definitely a real roughness here.
Yeah.
I kind of like as much as I kind of don't like at the same time.
I know.
It is definitely that.
He reminds me of someone. Oh no, he's the guy from Goodfellas who keeps bugging Bobby
Yeah,
Maury's wigs. Yes,
yeah, that's him.
Of course. Man, where's my money?
The referee is Jack Warden.
God.
I can see this going time limit.
Honestly, this match is definitely a bit longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Look
at the front row of the men just sitting there with their arms crossed.
Yeah.
Kelly, sometime next week, I'm gonna go rewatch this, of just the original link, because I want to hear how Dick and Cal fill this time.
Yeah.
It must be fascinating.
Yeah, because Cal, if he didn't like a match, he would shit on it.
I turned it up a little bit.
Well, he's not gonna
turn it up more than usual.
Good match, right?
Yeah.
He respects the Hangman.
No. Cal would be praising Yatsu to the stars and shitting on the Hangman.
Yeah,
building up the baby face, building up the baby.
Yeah, let me put it this way: most of what you'd call smart fans on the internet think that Dick and Cal are the worst announced team of all time, and
they're great.
Why they're idiots. So, yeah. As soon as Vince Jr., the old pervert, took over, he removed Cal from commentary right away. He had to keep Dick Graham because he was under contract from Prism. He moved Cal to backstage interviewer because Cal Rudman was a big shot and actually facilitated the Cyndi Lauper deal.
Yeah. This wig never fall off.
And in those backstage interviews, he loved some of the heels. He loved Piper and he loved Morocco. And when he'd interview them, he'd look up at them with this adoring look, like he was in love with them. He looked like the Mole Man.
Yes.
Fantastic Four.
I just finished reading through the original Fantastic Four with Jack Lee, Stan Kirby. So I'm like, that's very instant to my
Stan
brain.
Lee, Jack Kirby. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that run. It's so raw.
It takes a while to get going. A good 50 issues to get going, which is
I'd say about 35, maybe.
Fair. Well, that's why then you get Galactus stuff, I get, but it's still a little raw. Still
when the Frightful Four makes their first appearance, that's when it starts getting really good.
I feel when Black Panther showed up, I was fully in, because then you got the Inhumans and you got Black Panther and you got
Well, that's
when you had one after the next.
Yeah, you had the run that went from the introduction of the Frightful Four into the Inhumans, into Galactus, into Black Panther. But some of that initial 10, 12 issues, I remember reading reprints of those when I was 12, and I just loved the grittiness of it. This is so
it's very good.
It's so fascinating. At one point, Mr. Fantastic just grabs the nuke and just kind of throws it into the ocean all casually.
There's all kinds of weird. Okay, the Skrulls, and I love that John Byrne eventually went back to this. He's like, with the Skrulls, we don't want to be Skrulls. Well, we think Skrulls stink. He's like, well, we're going to turn you into cows and hypnotize you into thinking that you and that you're cows. And I remember thinking that seems insane and cruel.
One of the weirdest has to be the first appearance of the Watcher, being to help the Fantastic Four fight some gorillas. He'd break all kinds of legs. This is the end. We need to stop it. Just
the Red Ghost and his super apes.
Hey, those are super apes, Parm. That's the Red Ghost and his super apes.
They were slightly more than the average ape, but that's still not a lot.
Those apes have superpowers.
Hilarious.
That was a rare one where Ditko did the inking on Kirby, that issue.
I love the introduction of the Impossible Man. I
That's a
love
good
the
one.
Impossible Man.
rocked. I will give him that.
And
Or
then
when they lose all their money and have to go to Hollywood, and
when they lose all their
Namor's
money and
the
have to
movie
get
producer.
okay, that one is one of the best. Fred Hembeck did a recreation of that in one of his books. That's one of the funniest things ever. They go broke,
They
have
had
to
hitchhike
to Hollywood to be in a movie, and the guy, the director of the movie is the Submariner in disguise. It's bonkers, and I love it.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I like that the Fantastic Four, even now in the 60s, like, yeah, the landlord's still the problem. The landlord have power.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I remember when they John Byrne got rid of that in like 1982. They
it's kind of
finally
a
did
shame.
a
I
thing
kind of
where,
like Working Class Fantastic Four a whole lot.
but I remember the one in 1982. Galactus took off half the top of the Baxter building, and the landlord comes. The landlord, or Terrax did, and the landlord comes yelling at him, and Reed Richards says, "You know what? I've had enough of this," and just takes out his checkbook and writes a check. He's, "What is this? I just bought the Baxter building," and he's like, "Ugh." And then they never had to worry about it again. It took 30 years.
That's funny. How long did the Kirby and Lee? How many issues?
102.
Was it 102?
Yeah.
Ooh, hey,
102.
Parm.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts annuals or not, because I kind of like.
No, it doesn't.
You're right.
Count annuals.
You're
I
right.
think there was six annuals.
That sounds about right, but
yeah,
it's
6 annuals with new material in it. Then they started doing reprints, or the annuals were all reprints.
okay, that explains that about it.
Yeah, the last new annual was the birth of Franklin, where they had to go to the negative zone to get the whatever, some sort of.
Is that a time limit draw? There you go.
Yeah. And the crowd.
That match went way too long. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love Hangman now.
Hey, you know what?
When you watch these old WWF shows, you're always going to get at least one of these.
Yeah,
what was the time limit though?
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Too long.
That couldn't have been 20 minutes.
That felt like 20 minutes.
It felt
According to history of WWE, it was 18 minutes and 1 second in real time.
The 18 minute 1 second.
All right. Well, let me just hang the. Can I hang the man at least?
You now? He's like, "Hey, listen, you want to go back to my place? Do a little gasping." He's all, "Gasp you, motherfucker."
Oh, no, yeah. Let's see how you can handle
He's getting ready for the hanging.
Are you Olympic worthy?
Hey, at least we got to talk about comic books for a while. That was fun.
This past year, I got very into comic books.
Oh, cool.
Somewhat legally, somewhat illegally.
I've been going through them like crazy since COVID started.
Very easy to just get very lost into.
Yeah.
I'm branching out to some non-main stuff. I'm reading Essex County right now.
Oh yeah, I read that.
That's great.
In the last year. It's cool.
I'm halfway. I'm like, this shit fucking is incredible.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Did they make an animated film of that, or was that something was coming out?
Something on
it?
CBC, but I
they're producing something. I think a TV series.
Oh wow!
Here we go.
Another tribute.
Yeah. The
Main
tribute
event,
to Killer
though.
Khan continues 2 episodes in a row.
My
main event. They always, not always, but often had the main event in the middle of the show.
Middle, yeah.
The before intermission equivalent, I guess.
My nephew got me the trade paperback of the original Secret Wars.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I read it, and I'm reading it, and at first I'm reading it through a 53-year-old man's eyes and going, Jim Shooter was a fucking hack. This fucking stinks. And but then I got into my 13-year-old self, and I was like, this is great. I loved it. It was so much fun.
This is less reacting like it's a hack and more just being completely mind blown by how batshit insane the writing is. But Todd McFarlane, I recently tried to read some of it. His Spider-Man run and
Kelly and I did a podcast on it.
Did you read the Spider-Man one where he goes to Hope BC?
Of course. Yeah.
Didn't he have to stay in Chilliwack?
With Wolverine? Yeah.
Yes, where he fights child predators, but is annoyed by how violent Wolverine is.
Wendigo. Yeah, right.
Fight the child predators. Yeah, that was a hell of
he
an
was trying his best to be Alan Moore, Frank Miller, and it didn't.
That's a Philly fan.
Wow, and they're giving significant.
Oh, hey,
Wow.
speaking of predators who work for WWE, there's Mel
Phillips. Yeah, so I was also
now just a minor predator.
Our friends
he's a footnote. He's a footnote in history, Kelly.
Wow.
There it is.
Dude, that is dark ass comedy.
There's
but
the
it's
title for the episode too.
A footnote in history. No, it can't be Johnny's line.
Hey, you know what? At this point, I think all's fair and love and war if it's good. It's not my favorite.
Moose says he really turned heel. Boy, keep him coming, guys. Capetta's here. Everybody's here.
Tony Atlas is my hero for being totally public with all of his shit.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Public and consensual, two very important things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one's more important than the other, but like you get the point.
He's a little racist about it because he stresses white women
the right
only.
way of doing it. Oh Jesus! He gets the last laugh on Vinny Jr., I guess.
Okay, look, I always make fun of Killer Khan's hat, but his blue gear here looks dope.
Yeah, really good.
You know, he just one color I'll swap away from doing a cosplay of Kid Gohan from Dragon Ball. No, not enough Dragon Ball heads here.
Not enough.
We're too old.
Not enough to identify.
Where do you think they got the idea from Killer Khan?
Actually, Toriyama was a wrestling fan. One of his covers for a chapter of Dr. Slump was just the main character posing with Stan Hansen. So.
Well, the crowd's getting to Khan. They really are. They like to be mimicked.
2 weeks in a row with Bobby too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know I told this story recently, but I'm having flashbacks seeing a Philadelphia show with Killer Khan in the ring of giant oysters landing on my shoulder, Travis.
So gross. So gross. Johnny used to boo the baby faces and cheer the heels, and somebody was so upset that they spit on his jacket.
No, jacket on my fucking shoulder. I was wearing a t-shirt.
Oh, gross. It's even worse.
And he was a grown man, and Danzo and I were 16-year-olds. And yes, we were being assholes all night. And yes, we made a kid cry. But did I deserve that? No.
I think so. I think so.
I mean,
it's Philly. It's Philly, baby.
You didn't say that part.
You know where you were. You know where you were.
By kid, I mean 12-year-old.
Yeah. Well, if
you're gonna throw a kid,
and if you're gonna dish it, you gotta take it, bro.
You know what? If the 12-year-old had spit on me, I would have taken it with good grace. Who's this 37-year-old asshole?
Also, again, I say it's Philadelphia. If those athletes didn't want to get hit by batteries, they shouldn't have joined the team from Philadelphia.
Shouldn't have dressed up like Santa Claus.
I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit. That motherfucker was 4 or 5 rows up, and his accuracy was insane. Yeah. He probably thought not. He was aiming for my face.
Like Brett spitting in Vince's face.
Yeah, exactly. He must have been Canadian.
European.
I'm picturing the Seinfeld episode with the JFK.
Yeah, there must have been a second spitter.
There was a second spitter.
Keith Hernandez.
To the left.
I despise Keith Hernandez.
I despise Killer Khan. No, you were cheering for Killer. I despise. He was against Hogan, right?
Yeah.
I despise Hulk Hogan.
That's a story you tell.
Turns out it was
Danzo. Turns out it was Danzo.
Enough of your heel cheering, brother.
Danzo's been hiding that he's a secret Hulk Hogan fan all these years. It's been the long con.
Well, dude, you're dropping all sorts of gold tonight.
No, that's hacky. That stinks.
Yeah. No, Hogan would have claimed that he spit, even though you guys were up in the first. Yes, even though you guys were up in the balcony.
The next Hogan lie is like, let me tell you something, brother. There was this time I was at the Philadelphia Spectrum, brother, and these two assholes made a little Hulkamaniac cry.
No, he would describe the two assholes like those two assholes, or he's 6 feet tall. He was trained in Aikido. I saw a child, a young fan. Tim, I need to let him know it was okay. I was also the bigger man. So when they provoked me, I just turned the other cheek. I did spin on their shoulders on the way out, though, just to let the kid know the Hulkster is out looking out for you.
And then that kid died, brother, like 3 days later.
Yeah.
I was doing it.
And that's how I ended up making the wrestling album.
What? Pardon me. You skipped a few steps there, Terry.
Here he is. I love Bob Backlund.
It's really funny how viral Steve's tweet about Hulk saving somebody from a car accident has gone pretty viral. Like a lot of different people are talking about it.
Like, I saw so many tweets about that one, so I think I probably did see this one.
Yeah. I mean, Twitter's a fucking wasteland, and I feel dirty for participating in it. But every now and then, there's a gem like fucking Steve out there who can really make me laugh
for sure.
Look, Twitter is like capitalism. Sure, there's a million other solutions. Sure, there's a lot of white supremacists going around. Sure, the people at the top. Sure, like just screwing everyone, including themselves, over for some godforsaken reason. But damn. Sometimes it's very funny.
Yeah. But let me get this tweet out right now.
Yeah. The Blue Sky had DMs that are probably already fucked off there.
That's quite similar to the way I feel about if anyone gives me shit about still having friends and kids over tomorrow night for the Royal Rumble.
Every wrestling show. I feel the Royal Rumble.
Hey, Travis has to host
them. I'm hosting. We're hosting it.
Yeah. Bad timing.
This fun. Usually, I remind my nephew to tell his friends, that there's a show. But the other day, my nephew comes to me. He's like, "Hey, Uncle, is the Royal Rumble on Saturday?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." A couple of kids at school, like who've been over, like we're asking if we were having a showing the Royal Rumble and we could all hang out. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "I guess it's it's kind of hot." Like he said, one of his friends approached him in class. It was like, "You doing the Royal Rumble?" "Yeah." "And we're gonna have 5 kids over. I'm gonna grill hamburgers, and I'm not gonna talk about any of that shit in front of them."
Why?
I don't know. He knows what's going around the playground.
Nothing, because they don't give a shit about any of that. They're too busy watching TikTok videos. Believe me. And playing video games. They're not on wrestling.
You're right. No, you're totally right.
None of that.
He's been screaming through this whole match. I love it.
That's one of his gimmicks.
I know. Yeah.
He's one of the top 3 screamers in pro wrestling history. I'd put him at number 1, I think.
Better than Axl Rose? Oh, you meant in wrestling.
Did he wrestle?
I don't know if this would be best, but Alicia Fox is a scream I will never forget, whether I like it.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. When Alicia Fox was on the screen, the screen was not what I was thinking about, to be perfectly honest.
The bridging suplex is what you were thinking about. I get it. It's a clean bridge.
Yeah. I liked her because in that era of bringing in hot models and trying to teach them how to wrestle, she got decent and really developed a character. And I was like, okay.
She got good enough that if she actually had actual time with her matches, there could have been a lot more there.
Yeah.
And she has what? She has a good Northern Light suplex, right? She has a great Northern Light suplex. Yeah. Like I saw a good compilation of it. It's just like, whoo.
And she knew she was working 3-minute matches, so she made sure they would end if nothing else, end very well. And I respect that. That's a hell of a punch there. Goddamn.
Oh yeah. The late great Killer Khan, man, one of the most underrated, best of all time guys of the era. I'd say, at least of his era, man. Killer Khan was amazing,
especially when you look at the footage from the different territories.
And because he worked everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Most of my familiarity with him would also be some Japan stuff here and there, but this has been a nice little visit to see him just doing a lot of good ass punches and shit. Just working a match around a few nice strikes.
And here's how you know that Vince Sr. was still in charge. He didn't give a shit if 2 guys wore the same colored tights.
Yeah.
To be fair, Khan did have a very blue jacket. Very, very blue jacket.
Right. Takes more than that to put down this All-American.
I feel like Backlund's making noises too to try to counter.
Up for his finisher.
This could be the fit. No, he doesn't drop it.
No, he didn't do it.
I don't know if he was still doing the atomic drop.
81?
They should be counting.
I think he had transitioned to the German suplex as his finish.
Oh yeah, he had a few,
Mm-hmm.
but atomic drop was his finisher for a long time.
At first, yeah. And this is unusual. Usually Bob takes it to the heel most of the match, and here he's been selling most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Bob worked. No, I think this is another case of Bob working to the level of how good the other guy is that we've seen. When Bob's in there with the Hangman, the match sucks. When Bob's in there with Greg Valentine or Killer Khan, the match is great.
Does that make Bob Backlund and Great Sasuke just batshit insane then? Or?
What's that?
I'm just thinking of like Bob Backlund like fucking battle art against Great Sasuke. I'm like, does that make Great Sasuke a great wrestler or a terrible wrestler?
I think he was good. I think he was well celebrated.
I mostly remember it for Sasuke going for a full dive and Backlund just not being there at all. And right. Sasuke just immediately.
Is this later in the later run?
Yeah.
Oh, Sasuke's on that In Your House show in Calgary, Canadian Stampede, right? So that's when he was around in.
That was his own. Oh no, and the next night he wrestled too. I think those were his only 2 matches in WWE.
Yeah, both. I mean, this is Backlund in Japan more so.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and
what's Spawn doing? That's my nuts out! My nuts out! My nuts out! You guys, seriously, do something about this. My nut is out right here, right here.
No. Khan's studying more Killer Khan than I realized.
Yeah,
no Tommy Young to save him.
He's hitting himself in the nuts so he can forget
balance out the pain.
Yep. He learned that science. He learned that in Mongolia while raiding villages.
It's called biology.
This is fantastic.
Never seen a wrestler in agony like this.
This is fantastic. Even Dick Worley can't ruin this.
Yeah, they're getting into it. And the guys are getting into it.
Yep.
Listen to the scream. Now the scream
he's trying to loosen up. He's trying to loosen up his ligaments because he's being stretched so hard. This is fantastic.
What a unique way to stretch him out too.
Yeah.
That looks like
it's like he's at the starting block.
There you go. Some karate will take care of that.
All right. Oh, that's right. I can use my hands.
Oh, Backlund's an animal.
But yeah, to Parm's point, Backlund is an acquired taste, and a lot of people.
I'm definitely a fan of the guy. It's just like you, definitely, as you said, very different things at very different points.
Just tearing groins. I'm here to tear groins.
Yeah, that's what he's going at. This is a full dick. This is a full dick and groin match. This is come out and wear red tights. I'm the goddamn champion. You're coming out in red tights.
Man, those pervert YouTube commentators must be having the time of their life with this match.
Oh, they love Bob Backlund. Nice. Cal Rubin loves him some Bob Backlund. He's probably marking out like a maniac.
So Kevin talking in the chat, Sasuke does the Asai moonsault to Bob, and Bob just goes whoa and barely puts his arms up. And then he said, I think I got the Patreon match for the next time he's on.
You know, I feel that arms up is hyperbole, not even a little bit, really. I'm just kind of like looked up and go, wow.
Okay, what year was this?
Let me check.
Probably 92.
Yeah, it's very late.
1992.
Part of what makes it insane.
Okay.
Before he came back to WWE.
Okay, one of the greatest of all time, Bob Backlund, has never been used to having people doing flips at him. He doesn't know what to do with that shit.
He didn't wrestle Tiger Mask.
When do I stretch out his groin?
Exactly. He's trying to figure how do I catch him and stretch his groin.
What is this? It's not a figure 4, is it?
I don't know. This is all just they're just doing ligament
gobbledygook.
Just a
Everyone's calling it in the ring this afternoon.
Inventing holds here.
Inventing moves. Dude.
I'm keeping it casual on a Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. This might be my favorite match I've seen in like a month.
Really?
Yeah,
it is.
Even if
great.
it's not good, this
I
match
love that
is
opener too, though.
It is interesting. Nothing else. So.
This is what this is right up my alley of the kind of wrestling that I enjoy. I like watching. Bob Backlund. I like guys selling like this and like twisting knees and shit, taking their time, moving fast but slow at the same time.
Yeah.
I like the Hangman.
the Hangman style.
Yeah, but the Hangman stinks. I mean, these are two of the best of all time.
No, hey, you're dissing Parm's beloved European champion.
Oh, I'm sorry, Parm.
Kevin says 97 or 98 for the
also after
Bob.
his second WWE.
Oh, so he's an old man.
Interesting.
Okay.
I've always meant to watch some of those Bob matches from Japan, like late 80s and stuff.
I heard
never
that
got around to them.
I heard that I heard a story that like he worked in Pride or something like that.
I don't know if he went
or it was something where
he was in the UWF, which
maybe that was it.
It was like almost shoot.
Yeah, the work to shoot style.
It was the Kira
and Bob, and it was like Bob didn't get it because if he could do one of two things: work or shoot, because he could do both, but he couldn't figure out how to do this hybrid stuff.
Tyro says the late '80s stuff of Bob working for UWF is really good.
Yeah, I know there's one match that's legendary, but I forget who it was against. Where they're just, it's very stiff.
Well, I guess that criticism that I read was
unfounded.
Shit, then definitely.
But Backlund at that time was like still like depressed, kind of how it ended, and WWF in his heart wasn't really into a lot of.
I wonder if Kevin saw the whatchamacallit.
What do you call it?
There was a recent somebody put out a GIF compilation of Super Dragon dropping curb stomps.
Oh yeah.
Bob versus Takada is
Takada, yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Killer Khan's taking it to the champ. Uh-oh. Gonna get him with
the victory roll.
Get him with the victory roll. Oh, the bridging victory roll.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
baby.
with the bridge.
That was pretty awesome. Look at that got the crowd. I didn't get Bobby Clark too excited, but everybody else is.
Flyers. What's that football jersey?
I thought it was
Joyce DeWitt's.
I thought it was Dallas.
Yeah, I know. You got to have some balls wearing a Cowboys fucking jersey in Philly.
Yeah, you do. Especially like, now.
It's not a football game. It's
okay. Nowadays you'd get some stares. In 1981, you would get your ass whipped.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I was thinking it was Minnesota Vikings, but
if it would,
still unusual for.
All right, Sting loves it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful victory roll.
I'm not kidding. I love that. That's right up my alley as to what I currently like to watch now.
Yeah, that was like a mid-range Bob title defense in my.
It wasn't with the greatest, but I just two performers who I adore going out and having a very unique match on a matinee show in front of a hot Philly crowd with lots of weird moves. Killer Khan is confused about what happened. Why does my dick hurt so bad? This match rules. Here we go.
There we go.
Gotta turn this up.
15-hour flight, no sleep. Oh, he just came from Japan.
So he was coming from Japan.
Gives you a lot of extra energy, and it really means a lot. You know, people may think it doesn't, but
Eagles had just made the Super Bowl before this, too,
yes,
Kelly.
That's right, and lost to your Raiders.
That's all they needed to beat this guy today. He really
in the Superdome.
I got a lot of respect for this man. He's in good shape, and you got to look up to the guy. He had me going pretty good. Well, Bob, let's take a look at the screen. We'll see some replays.
Oh, cool.
Here we go. Oh,
So, Bob, I've got some pictures I'd like to share with you. Okay.
Or is that the end? Yeah. Okay, that was the end.
Me, Tony Atlas, the Holiday Inn across the street.
Boom.
Doing pretty well with that, so you get them hooked up pretty good when you get through that bridge back.
Beautiful.
No. And also that stretch when you were stretching his legs.
He's talking about
Okay.
the
Talking about the
stretch.
legs.
That,
Yeah, that was really fucked up, Bob.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
well, I saw him in the shower earlier, and he's got a giant penis, so I thought I could really work that.
I figured if it, flipped out of those red tights that he was wearing.
That's a disqualification, or at least a punt.
A warning.
I mean, if I can't hurt him in the ring, I can hurt his pocketbook.
One yellow card. One yellow card.
The slaps are so weird. Just, like it's trying to
Get
keep
back in there. Get back in there. I can't afford
easy, big fella.
I think he's going for the thing where, like, if a pro athlete gets like very sore, they just like grip their legs and shit. Too.
Yeah,
He's going for that. Too.
He was getting like tingly or something, trying to get the. I get it.
No, it's the wrestling thing, like where you hit the thing, you hit your arm that hurts to make it work again. He's doing it with his inner groin.
Sixers hat. Look at that Sixers hat. That guy's trying to get on camera.
Is it a Sixers hat?
Oh, that Phillies
and
jacket.
a Phillies jacket. Yeah.
Dude,
Well, they were coming off one of the great years in sports history for a city.
Guess who was rocking that Phillies jacket in 1981?
All four
This guy
major
right
teams
here.
made it to the finals in 1980 in Philadelphia, but only one won. The Phillies won their first World Series in 1980.
This was the year of my great first sports disappointment because they traded my favorite player, Greg Lazinski, in 1981.
Oh, so right after they won.
Right after they win the World Series, he was gone.
Thanks for nothing. Bull.
Yes, yeah. I was bitter enough to start to go. I didn't wear that Phillies jacket for much longer. It's like, fuck them. And I lost interest.
No, Kevin, we were saying that Dick didn't do the tuck because Tommy Young, they needed Tommy Young for that moment to tuck Killer Khan's.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Little killer.
Know what you're talking about, Travis Wallachin. I've never, ever touched the
Oh,
razor.
man. Boy, speaking of, there you go. They're all in attendance tonight. Dude, and I hate to say that. I hate to say this, Johnny.
This match rules.
If Gurria, where was Gurria in the 90s? What was his job at WWE? When he was part of the pull apart, was he part of the where was he at that time?
He
was just an agent.
He was an agent. Okay.
Road agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
So he wasn't so much inner circle. Well, no, I always thought of him like
the inner pervert circle. How dare you, sir?
Yeah, I was hoping not.
I've got a legitimate business in Florida. I do. Listen, use. I've got a legitimate business down in Florida. You mugs.
The Kiwi Bronx. I love it. The Kiwi Bronx. That's so funny. I'm trying to think of some more things you can combine. It's like sheep fucking, but also hailing a cab at the same time. I wonder what that would sound like.
That Steinbrenner's a bum. Anyway, Sergeant Slaughter, Pat. So is this in the middle of the legendary feud? What's the timeline between this and the MSG?
Yes, this is a couple weeks before the Alley fight at MSG.
Oh, it's a couple weeks before the Alley fight.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
This is the one match we watched for Titans.
Yeah, I was about to say, Parm, have you ever seen the legendary Alley fight between Pat Patterson and Sergeant Slaughter from the Garden?
I've seen a Pat Patterson Sergeant Slaughter match, so it must be that one.
Yeah.
Well, if they were in street clothes and it was bloody, then that's it.
It was bloody.
Yeah.
90%
That's the one.
Sure
There's only 3 on tape, I believe.
And
no, 4 on tape.
I'm 90% sure it was in the Way of the Blade book, which is why I watched it.
It was.
Right. Yes,
it
would have been. Yes. It's one of the classic Blade jobs.
Yeah. Pat Patterson is wearing an I Love New York t-shirt. Just painted on him.
Yeah, so they had 2 matches at MSG and 2 in Philly. The 2 in Philly we had to, I think Pete had to provide the footage for because they weren't on the original set.
Yeah, I remember that.
Look at these faces.
Hey, this guy, that's some Philadelphia faces. Philadelphia faces.
It's our talent agency.
But the angle.
That's it. Discovered a young Johnny.
Something you need to see.
Yeah,
how the feud started.
You know
with the
what?
Cobra Clutch challenge.
Here's the thing, though. And then, but the guy they had to take my headshot sucked. You know, nothing like yours. I've seen that young Travis Valash in a headshot, and that is a sexy man.
Right.
So, yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that 40 years later they're gonna hide it under a hood?
Look at that.
Oh man, I got a lot of Percy Jackson
Congratulations,
fans.
by the way.
Yeah, thanks. I got a lot of Percy Jackson fans following me now.
We had to watch that twice. We had to watch that twice to catch you. We missed you the first time.
Yeah.
I had tipped off my family. Yeah, I had tipped off my family to go. I know you're watching this. When it gets to that part, come get me. And literally the other night, I'm down here just watching TV, and my nephew comes running down and goes, "Uncle, your friend's about to be on TV." And I was like, "All right, be right up."
Awesome. It was a really good episode too.
They love the show.
Really hope we get a season 2. Yeah, if we get a season 2.
Here.
I know Karen's got a bigger part in the second book, so.
As someone who has not watched the show yet, has been meaning to. Is that in the same episode as you? Out of sheer, probably not. I assume
he is at the very end, actually.
Yeah,
but he was.
Yeah,
he had been in a previous episode as well.
Yeah, I was hoping you could just recreate the moment of you meeting Sergeant Slaughter with him. Then, no. Complete with the Iraq War, of course.
Yes. I tell him about hey, but I just want to let you know, I met Sergeant Slaughter, and I made sure to let him know about how much we hated how everyone did him wrong about his support for the Iraq War.
Instead of asking for mystery times, you'd ask him to be at the boom box.
Right, fellow Canadian.
Yes.
That's
the big bump, yeah.
That was the bump that led to the blade job in the alley fight.
Right. He comes off. He comes off,
but not here.
He bounces off of it, and you can just see him just slice his own fucking forehead. Nasty. Yeah, I was trying to say.
Baby faces love destroying nuts.
Right, especially in Philadelphia.
Oh, they had to cut away.
Your crowd.
Yeah.
Hey, it's who we are. It's who we are as Philadelphia sports fans.
No, so Bix and Zellner released 20 hours of their Titan Gate stuff, and I listened to about 2.5 hours of it, and fuck, it gets into mostly Mel and mostly Barry O gets a lot about Barry O. Anyway, it's really good. If it I don't know if I'll be able to listen to all 20 hours or whatever the fuck it is, Kelly, but they're just so
I don't think anybody has.
Yeah.
I couldn't listen to I couldn't look. It would take 20 hours of my favorite professional podcasters of the same subject. That'd be rough for me. Let alone I could listen to Chris talk for a long time. That's all I'll say. And 20 hours is a lot, dude. Those shows I love how jokes are going around about how we used to get made fun of because Titans could be really long. Those guys have dwarfed us. Those are unwieldingly long shows. More power to you if you can sit through it, but I can't sit through anything that long.
They've been doing it every week for I think almost 9 years. So yeah, I got to tip
more power to you.
Hat to that because that's a lot of hours.
Yeah. Kevin listens on 2 speed to get through it. Kevin's been a guest before. Taro's been on before Between the Sheets.
Yeah, a few times. Yeah, Makabe too.
Hey, speaking of Makabe,
anyway,
I know you're going to see him at that Dean show. That's awesome.
Yes, I will be
going
to the Dean Rasmussen Memorial Show. An hour away from my folks' place, but I used to be really kind of in touch with what was hot in the indie scene, And the only name I know of the 4 announced names is Makabe, mainly because we did a podcast with him. So therefore, I know
not Devis.
Yeah, no, I'm not aware. It's just
Yeah, he's a real 2010s grime indie lucha guy. He's great too.
Yeah, no, I looked him up and I can't wait to see him, but I wasn't aware of him.
And Mad Dog Conley's probably one of the only real like indie wrestlers who broke out last year. Got prize on last year.
Everyone, dude, look, all I know is like filling those guys and are hyping this stuff. I'm just like, these guys are
a real
stars
I don't match, know about. Like a real
They're stars I don't know about.
Only during Mania weekend ass match.
Yeah, I can't wait for this show. It's gonna be
that's so cool, man. I'm really glad you're getting to go to that. I just when I saw Dan was on it, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be perfect.
Yeah, and I know there's enough people that are going that who I either have met before years ago going to shows back in the early 2000s, or who I've known on message boards for years that I'm going to meet in person at this show. So yeah, it's gonna be super fun.
That's right.
I don't know what dance match is, but I have a theory for what it is. But I'll share that after in case I am right.
Of whose match?
Dan's match for Dino.
Oh, Dan's match. Okay.
Oh, I get to see. Here. I'm going to Victoria on Friday. Max and I are going to see Makabe Tyler.
Oh, that should be
among others. Yeah.
You should tell Eddie to book me.
I will. Of course I will.
I made Max Benson to do that. I told that to Max Benson. Now through you, I'll get Max Mitchell also. All the Maxes will be on my side. Maximum chances. Honestly, this match has much more main event energy than Bob Backlund versus Khan did.
Well, because Backlund Khan wasn't really a pushed feud that much.
That is fair. That is true.
Like he was sort of a monster of the week for Bob, honestly. But this feud was the hottest thing in the territory at the time. You know, it's one of those things when you're doing the WWF style at the time of a babyface champ who's a babyface for 6 years. Sometimes they're not in the hottest angle. They're with the monster of the week, while something like this is on top, because this is what people want to see. Oh, here we go.
Come on, double axe handle, baby.
My favorite agile giant man.
Holy shit! Oh, come on. I really wanted to see that.
Honestly, double axe handle to the floor has to be one of the most insane moves because you're fucking up your knees doing it.
It fucked up Randy Savage's knees.
Yeah, and for a move that really does not look that good.
I know.
Like top rope to the ring, sure. Top rope to the floor for a double axe handle?
I know.
What is this, Austin Aries and Thrash Wrestling?
Balding for America, baby. Megan.
They're just letting John Cena understand the truth.
Yeah.
Has got bald spots.
Got a bald eventually.
You know, maybe it's just my blind love for Sergeant Slaughter, but I forgive him his stolen valor shit.
All right, sure.
No, here's why. Hear me out. Hear me out. I think he's a wrestler. I think he got swept up into it to where, like, he's like, I served in Vietnam.
Oh, he absolutely buys into himself for sure.
But then suddenly Ronald Reagan is like, I'd like to honor you and serve and honor your service. And the old fucking pervert or whatever is like, next thing you know, he finds himself shaking hands with Reagan as an actual vet. He's like, well, I guess I have to keep up this lie the rest of my life now.
On the list of horrible wrestler sins, that's like what I can overlook, even if it's
pretty. Yeah.
I mean, exactly. When you look at wrestling sins, that's pretty low on the list.
Pretty easy. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we don't like to resort to
a young
whataboutism, but
a young Dudley is in the front row. here in Philadelphia.
Look, like I'm just saying, Surgeon Slaughter could be like a season of The Rehearsal by Nathan Fielder here. It's not that.
Yes. The Dean show is the Thursday, right? The 4th, is that right?
It's the
Johnny?
Thursday the 4th, yes.
Yeah. And then we got a 5th with Danzo. Did you confirm that yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't know if I can make that work.
Okay, whatever.
I'll ask him. I just knowing Danzo the way
Cal's
I
getting
do,
a little too involved.
I know.
Yeah, I know. By the way, Danzo's texted me about the current, old pervert situation.
Yeah.
Are the most Danzo things I've ever seen in my life, and I won't repeat them, but remind me to tell you once we're up there.
Okay. I will say a pervert is kind of like letting him off nicely, calling him a
I don't
pervert.
know.
Sex trafficker.
Let's bring back pervert.
Okay.
I kind of like it how it rolls off the tongue. Because when you when you mix in some leaves and now we're getting into perverted shit, right? No pun intended. So I think pervert is perfectly fine. Here we go.
Snap it on.
Say good night. Travis feels terrible. I wish he could have held me in his sweet embrace.
Yeah. in that Dallas auditorium.
I would have gotten so fucking hard.
Right next to Barry Horowitz watching. It's like all my fantasies come true. It's so funny. It's so funny.
That
sounds like a.
You know what? Now that you're on a Disney show, I'm gonna have AI.
Oh boy,
that, and that's going to
great.
be your Christmas present.
Oh yeah, I'm speaking of AI. Preverts. Yeah, the Duke says preverts. I like prevert more than pervert.
Preverts. You know what? I'm fine with prevert.
Pretty funny.
That Cobra Clutch. He's going down. That shit'll fuck you up for real. That's always the best when you're a kid. And you're like, I wonder if that shit works for real, and you do it, and you're like, fuck yeah, that hurts.
Yeah,
Boston crabs, Cobra clutches.
Pile driver.
We didn't fuck around with the pile drivers. Was that a Canadian thing?
I did kind of. Well, it wasn't like a real pile driver because I was only 9 years old.
Oh, was it one of those Harley race fall over to the side pile drivers?
No, it was more like just head between the knees and then just straight down. And yeah, he told the teacher on me, and I got in trouble.
Huh. Well, as a
he's like,
as an older brother,
that was the shittiest pile driver I've ever seen. Teach
bullshit.
It was.
I had to no sell it. He should be suspended just based on his technique.
It actually hurt the guy. Like I didn't protect him at all. I
Right.
totally on his head.
He's working stiff.
Going into business for himself, principal.
How the hell? Well, there's sometimes there's.
It probably did hurt because it was on like the rocky ground in the playground.
This is a playground match. Gotcha.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Wow, what an MVP performance from Slaughter. And then he worked.
Mm-hmm.
Did he work later in the night too?
They worked. Yeah, him and Patterson again.
Insane.
In the Cap Center. That was crazy.
The Cap Center a couple hours later.
And I think it was, let me see.
An all-time great. Parm, I'm a huge Sergeant
28 minutes. 28 minutes for Patterson and Slaughter in the Cap Center in the evening.
I got 2 autographs when I got to go to WrestleCon in Texas. One was Slaughter and one was Onita.
Figure 4.
2 different men that have seen explosives in combat. Huh?
God damn it, Parm, you're the best.
Stolen valor with Onita.
I learned this in a Sushi Onita DS game.
Oh yeah,
it's only in Japan, and it's related to it's political education. Basically.
Interesting. Okay, so it's got a ton of text,
Onita
then
DS
I'm sure,
game.
right?
You just see like a chibi Onita and like a tux with like just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and like what I assume is Japanese for like whatever pop.
I'm sure I could find a ROM, but I bet you I don't think anyone's done a language patch yet.
No. Sorry, I just need to check this.
Oh, this Philly crowd's going crazy. What's going on here? That's
okay. Anytime, anywhere at Sushi Onita's government quiz DS. So.
Hilarious.
General Patterson.
I can play.
Salute.
Hilarious. I can play DS games on my Retroid.
Yeah, for Christmas I treated myself to a Steam Deck.
Yeah, he won.
I've still not set up browse for it because I'm just too lazy.
Really? Wow.
Sergeant Slaughter either gave up or the referee said he can't take it anymore.
I could see it being the
I want to hear what Capetta says.
Let's see what Capetta says.
15 minutes.
Disqualification.
He got disqualified.
Slaughter was disqualified.
I think he grabbed the referee.
Yeah.
Or some shit. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Patterson
it wasn't
have 20 rounds of cheating in it, but grabbing the referee during that match too much.
Yeah.
Patterson doesn't want to win that way. Fuck you, ref.
And he didn't let him raise the hand there for a second. He got a little bit.
Yeah, no, because he's mad at this referee. He doesn't want to win this way. He wants to. He wants to fuck him up some more. Because
I love how he applies the figure four too.
Because in a couple of days they're about to have one of the bloodiest battles of all time in Madison Square Garden. He wants to soften this motherfucker up.
It's like, we got to work again in a couple hours, man. Don't think I've forgotten about this.
Yeah, twice as long in the Cap Center.
Really?
Yeah, 28 minutes.
So really, they were just giving Philly like, here, Philly, here's a fucking matinee for you. You know,
hop on the bus. Hop on the bus if you want to see the main course.
Mm-hmm.
I love Capetta, man, but
bunch of preverts.
Bunch of preverts. Capetta here, I love Capetta, but he just looks emaciated and
I love him. Michael, he follows.
So he was living off a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
He follows us on Twitter.
Yeah, no, dude, I have the great honor of having to have met him. He did a guest appearance at a Ring of Honor show I went to. And he's just hanging outside and no one's talking to him. And I came up to him and just kind of like fanboyed out for him. And he's like, thanks. Awesome. Thanks, boy. Thanks.
Awesome.
And I asked him about something that I thought he announced at a show. He's like, if I had said that, I would have been fired. I'm like, I guess I just imagined it then.
Please stop talking to me.
Yeah, no, he was super nice.
Go away.
That's a stick.
Did he say son of a bitch? Oh.
Yeah.
This isn't over yet. It's an afternoon, Patrick. I'll tell you what, let's get on the bus. And I'll tell you what, there's still about 30 tickets left, you maggots. Wow.
I don't know about the quality of these Philadelphia stairs, Kelly. I mean, they're wooden, clearly, but the arch looks dangerous, don't you
Boston
think?
Garden. Not the quality of the Boston Garden.
Well, yeah, well, what is? The two greatest things in life
that's
I've ever known are my saint of a mother and the stairs at the Boston Garden.
We gotta watch another card. Yeah, this is how it like when I had the idea to bring back Mystery Titans Theater over COVID, and all we did was watch.
I know
these old cards. These old cards.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, there hasn't been a Boston Garden one in a while.
Yeah, and the stairs at Boston Garden are beloved by Bruno. He makes sure to always use them.
Mm-hmm. They're the only ones with the San Martino guarantee on the side. Okay. He's like the guy on the pizza box.
Yeah. So if you look closely, you see a little decal.
Okay, there was the punch.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the cameras missed it. He got himself disqualified on purpose. The referee took a good bump. That had to be a disqualification. You can't bump around an official like that.
This was the bump of the night.
Yeah,
Gosh,
crazy.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta work in 20 minutes.
Yeah. And then for like twice as long.
Believe me, this is what I'm waiting for. But I'm very satisfied because the fans supported me. I came out on top, and that's all I need.
I love
Oh my
you.
God. I'm gonna open mouth kiss you right here in front of everyone on Prism Network.
Look, I just want you to know I'm an ally, and I'm not afraid to hug you right here, Pat Patterson. I'm a wonderful. Cal Rudman, Parm, is the rare exception of a guy who was involved in the music business mainly and pro wrestling as a side gig, who was one of the most wonderful human beings of all time. Him and his wife,
Beloved
humanitarians, beloved in the Philadelphia area.
Look at that CRT.
Charities, everything. Wonderful, wonderful man.
I'm on the lookout for a nice CRT, Parm, to retro game.
Godspeed, I am not the guy to ask for.
Yeah, I'll give you some CRT with a lead pipe upside your head.
Keep trying to keep it under 13 inches.
So for a long time, Titans of Wrestling fans,
he's just always here. They're proposed.
Is one of the.
Oh, we just got rated by Wrestling Brain. Fantastic. Hey, thanks, Josh. He told us we were going to do this. We got a whole bunch of 17 people just rated our channel. Outstanding. Yeah. Welcome, guys.
And
this is Gary Michael
the Stolen Valor.
Yeah, and the great
Very
Parm Singh Mann
young-looking
is with us.
Nice. Gerald Ford's in the crowd. Over there, stupid.
Boy, you guys missed a ton of action, the ones you were just joining us now. Slaughter has fought twice on this card.
Mm-hmm.
There was a hanging though.
There was a hangman. Yeah, we saw a hangman. There's Travis Voloshin in 20 years. I'm sick of this shit.
Hi, kids. You might remember me from one of your favorite Disney shows.
Dom DiNucci. He's announcing, is this a month from now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's doing my favorite part of every old-fashioned card, the announcing of the next show. Uh-huh.
Rick Martel again.
Against?
All right, so six-man tag.
Six-man with Pedro versus... This stinks. The Moondogs.
Sammy Hagar. People
Chuck D. What's the name?
Moondogs and Albano.
And Albano, okay.
We've definitely never saw that. There was supposed to be
Mosca is Backlund versus Mosca,
but it didn't happen.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
What the Backlund Mosca match didn't happen?
No, the Yatsu Hangman rematch didn't happen.
Oh, okay. That did shocking.
Ron Shaw subs. Ron Shaw subbed for the Hangman.
Hangman confirmed to drew a dime.
He had hanging to do.
Yeah.
He had hanging to do somewhere. He's a
What is it?
professional. Uh-oh. Never tell you about the time in the future when I spit on some.
No, we're not getting Dominic DiNucci against Cicluna.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry.
Against Cicluna. Yeah.
2-year-old.
There's been a few matches cut. We didn't get Johnny Rods versus somebody was the opener. Frank Savage, we didn't get. We didn't get Larry Sharp, Tony Altamore.
Oh, real? God, now.
And
fuck. God damn it. You know, shit. I'm quitting.
Who did we not get?
Altamore, I wanted to see him because that was Lou Albano's tag partner as the Sicilians in the 60s.
Wild.
Sorry,
and we didn't get Danucci and Cicluna, and we also didn't get Leilani Kai and Fabulous Moolah against Jill Fontaine and Suzette Ferreira.
Hell of a name.
Yeah.
Well, there's still how long is this match, dude? I think there's still more after.
20-minute time limit.
Then I think this might be coming in a weird order.
Also, or we'll get interviews, backstage interviews, because there was
right.
All right, this is very
sit-down interviews with Rudman.
So I just need to get this off my chest. Jesus Christ, Hogan looks as dark as Tony Atlas right now.
Yeah.
I think he was getting right for an NXT Women's Title run with that level of tan.
So Kevin's asking, is this the Atlas Hogan match he's always heard about? Do we know it? Does this have any? Is there a Hogan Atlas match that has some level of infamy or recognition?
I'm not sure. They had one at MSG, I think a month before this, where Hogan, it was one of Hogan's rare pinfall losses. So that would be the infamy. I'm not sure about this one. This is the last day Hogan was in the territory during this run. He goes to, I think it goes to Florida next, and then to the AWA a few months after this, and that's where he turns babyface for the first time, really, and becomes a major star there.
That's where I met Jonas Salk, brother, was in the AWA. That's we talked about how Hulkamania could be the next big cure. It didn't work out for Gagne. Tried to fuck us.
I'll be right back.
The full head of hair, sorta.
Close enough. He was always a little thin on top. At least as a wrestler.
Just saying.
He knew to wear the bandana for a long time for a reason.
Like in interviews, though, but as soon as it came down to doing business in the ring,
Well, yeah, there's nowhere you could hide it.
Yeah.
He wasn't like Bruno Sammartino had a good wigman.
Oh, he must have, because you couldn't tell really.
Because there was a base. There was a good curly Italian base.
But it's funny, it never mattered for Hogan, really. It didn't hurt as popular.
How good it. Dude, Pro Wrestling Illustrated named him one of the sexiest wrestlers of 1985.
How long was the bar in 85? Jesus.
That was about as far as you could go with him. Like after 85, I don't think he could make a sexiest wrestlers list.
I think after 85, PWI realized that they weren't going to do that anymore, because I kind of remember them stopping that. But I do remember it was a cover, like the heartthrobs of wrestling, and it was like the obvious ones like Ricky Steamboat or Rick Martel, but a young Barry Windham was always in there, and you're like, okay, maybe. And then you got Kerry Von Erich with his big horse face, and Hogan and Tommy Rich. I was like, okay, Ricky Morton.
Tommy Rich was huge at one point as far as
but this
sex appeal.
This was not 1979 Tommy Rich. This was 1985 Tommy Rich.
He was coasting.
He was coasting on his cousin Oliver haircut and his smile.
Did Hogan work the evening show as well?
No, I think this
yes,
is it,
he did.
right? Oh, he did. Okay.
No, this was his last day.
I realized there was the second
Last
card, it needed a draw there, and I just didn't want to disappoint the children, brother. Even though I was hurting. I was hurting after that match against Tony Atlas. I got up. I got on that bus. Man, 300,000 Hulkamaniacs were very happy that.
Amazing. In the white tights. Usually that means color, but not tonight. Not this afternoon.
It means. Yeah, I was trying to figure out. There's some sort of white power joke here, but I cannot make it.
There's a lot of jokes to make right now between Hulk Hogan and Tony Atlas in the ring, but
yeah, I already made my obligatory. Jesus Christ, that tan is so dark. Hulk Hogan's trying to steal Valor right here.
Well, I'm glad you made it again because I missed it. Thanks, buddy.
Especially with like the way the cameras are for this specific, it's very noticeable than like the normal level.
Tony Atlas in that pose looks like Atlas. He just needs a big fucking globe on him.
He is very fucking jacked. It's insane.
Yeah,
Mr. USA.
I love
Here we
Tony.
go.
Tony Atlas was also one of my childhood favorite wrestlers, him and Rocky Johnson. Here we go. And to this day, I love him. As Travis put it, living his best life, getting kicked in the face.
Mm-hmm.
When he did this at MSG, it was the cover of PWI.
That's right.
It probably makes a sick cover.
That's a big fall on that bet.
When do you ever see Hogan? Well, I mean, he's always a face in peril at some point, but pretty cool seeing him manhandled like this.
Oh yeah, well, he's a heel on his way out of the territory.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Backlund.
That's what I mean. It's a very unique set of circumstances.
Hogan's doing more business than Shawn Michaels ever could.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna start overselling, just like Michaels. In their infamous match. I love.
And then Hogan or Atlas in this scenario will be ingenious and take like a minute to do one move once you realize.
Yeah.
Oh, another ref bump.
Is that Chekhov?
Yeah. Walter Koenig. Kevington, I took bump. But he shook it off. It's fine.
Hogan selling bear hugs. Always a big part of our show.
He's loading up his loaded elbow pad. Nothing I love more in wrestling than something that's loaded that clearly is tape, or like Ted DiBiase's leather glove. It's loaded with what?
Tyrell said he was screaming in excitement as a kid when he saw Atlas Johnson win the tag titles.
So was I.
A solid oak chair.
Me too. Me too. I was 13 or 14 in my grandparents' living room, jumping up and down like a fucking maniac. I'm with you, bud.
It's one of the great, crowd reactions at the in Allentown for that one.
Did that also have the call of when Albano's leaving all bloody with the chair around his head?
Yes.
Monsoon goes like, there he is, the world's greatest advertisement for birth control.
Jesus.
I can't remember if it was that one or he definitely said
I don't think it was that one.
Wasn't that one? Okay.
Used that. No, because Vince was the commentator for those matches. But Monsoon definitely used it. I think it was just, I don't know, at an MSG show, probably several MSG shows.
I God, that's so funny.
It was one of his go-to lines.
Brian Solomon is writing a Gorilla Monsoon biography that I cannot wait to read.
Oh wow.
That should be. I still haven't read his Chic biography. That's supposed to be
me
really
neither.
good.
I heard it was fantastic.
Original Chic, not Iron. Yeah, I have it on Kindle, but I haven't.
It's
got
okay,
it.
Bubba. It's okay, Bubba. I know what you mean.
This match has been pretty good so far.
Oh yeah, man. Tony Atlas was underrated and could fucking work.
My 80s blind spot, this means this is a man I'm really not familiar with as much as I should be outside the name.
Again, this is like also like a lot of people remember Tony Atlas when he was so muscle bound that he couldn't work. And here he's at this point he's pretty good. And this is also young Hulk Hogan, who was working as a powerhouse heel, who was conniving, but he was there it is. There's the big leg.
You gonna kick out?
No, yeah, of course he is.
With a knee to the face too. God damn.
Yeah.
Well, he deserved that. He deserved that with the balls in the face pin too. So
he deserved it for what he whispered in his ear just then.
Right.
That
and
wasn't his
and for
finisher,
things
really.
And for things he would say years later. That was awesome. That was killer.
That was stiff right in the face.
Yeah. Let's go.
I heard. Yeah. Tony Atlas heard what you said.
This is for everything all the years later.
Quantum leaping Tony Atlas.
Yeah.
And
he's like, oh boy. That's what he said when he found out.
More feet. Well,
they had a very specific brand of lotion they'd use back then that is off the market now.
Just Tony Atlas time traveling through time, getting stomped in the feet by women. Oh, it has to be white women. Yeah, that's part of the rules apparently. But just throughout history, that's the life I want for that man.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc.
Oh, no, I said white women.
Catherine the Great.
You're not Elizabeth Taylor. Shit.
You just time traveled like just 20 years ago. Nothing's that far. Just 20 years ago. So
yeah.
Cool. Wow. So Kevin telling us Solomon's been talking about the book on his podcast and had quite the episode with Patera last year as a result of talking about the Gorilla book. Fascinating. Sounds like quite a interesting. What would Patera have to say?
I've seen a couple of little teaser clips of Gorilla stories that he's dropped. That has me completely on. No way, really? Are you kidding? That's amazing. Joe Frazier. He's comparing him to Joe
Gorilla
Frazier.
and Patera were like good buddies in real.
Right. He'd always call him Kenny. Yeah.
Kenny, and he allowed Patera to be the guy who beat him in Philly in his last.
Another ref bump. Check up. Gun.
Supposed to be his retirement match.
Is Kyle Fines about to do a run-in?
Yeah.
Does he only do run-ins for shitty ref bumps?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why fuck Joe King's a channel the boombox here.
That's right.
I don't know how much.
Hogan's trying to help the ref up. God damn.
Come on, because he's like, look. Actually, I don't know what.
Look, count out. We're good.
Yeah, he wants a count out. Oh no, he was hoisted on his own.
Yeah.
He was hosted on his own.
Kick out at 3-2. Hell of a ball kicker by Hogan.
There you go. So that's a Hogan pinfall for you there.
Another pinfall, yeah. The one in New York, he had his foot on the rope.
Hogan took out the referee.
I like the one guy in glasses trying to make him notice.
Hey man, the ref is dead. Hey dude, the ref is dead. I think the referee's dead. That's like that always comes in threes.
Jesus Christ, Phil. That kid is the best thing we've ever seen on this show. Hey, Tony, because he's slapping him like, hey, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, good. I mean, we're all happy, but somebody like I don't think he's supposed to be bleeding from the ear.
Atlas like, bro, I already made my money. We're good.
Yeah. Kenny retired Gorilla, apparently.
He did.
That still
says
we have
to retire him. And then when Gorilla would call, we noticed this as kids and we thought it was odd. When Gorilla would call his matches, real quick, as a heel, he go, well, Kenny here should know better. I'm like, Kenny, like he's his buddy.
Yeah.
Speaking of buddy,
who is that?
Larry Sharp.
That's Larry Sharp. For a second, I thought it was Buddy Rose.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, but I saw his face. So like, I have no idea.
Cal Rudman is talking to Larry Sharp. Jesus Christ. Cal Rudman is one of the nicest guys in the world. He's like, well, I guess they got me talking to Larry Sharp. Great.
Oh, he was victorious that evening, hitting Tony Altamore.
Was he a babyface here? Because I wish.
Yeah, Altamore was a heel usually.
Okay, I'm not joking. I wish I could have seen a babyface Larry Sharp, a young babyface Larry Sharp versus fucking Altamore, who I remember was at this point made Lou Albano look like Bob Backlund.
Now you did start in 7th grade in Paulsboro.
When the moon hits
Oh
your
yeah,
eyes,
he was pretty
like
bad.
a big pizza pie, Altamore.
4 years at Paulsboro High School, Gloucester County, and Trenton State.
Okay, Larry.
They're not in the same. They're not in the same room right now. They shot these completely separate, and then just made it seem like they were together. It's clear. These two men hate each other. Oh man, are we really gonna get? We're gonna get 11 minutes of this
because Cal Rudman.
No,
the man.
We're gonna get 3 interviews probably. Sharp, Moolah, and Patterson.
Cal Rudman is trying to be nice to this schlub right now, and not be like he's actually trying to do a decent interview with this young baby. I didn't know he was ever a baby face. Pretty boy Larry Sharp.
I didn't either.
Pretty boy. Is it in quotes always? You know what I mean. He's a real pretty boy.
Train Bam Bam Bigelow. His school was the Monster Factory that I think still exists in some form or another.
Crazy.
I think so, in New Jersey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Props to the pretty boy.
Yeah, I think he also tried to do one of those things with Bam Bam. It's like, so after you go out on your own, you have to pay me 20% of everything you make, kid. Kind of fucking things like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
There's a lot of good wrestling.
I see Maxwell Benson has bleached his hair blonde recently. Parm, do you see that?
Oh, I do see it now.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Amateur wrestling as far as most consecutive wins, most dual meet wins.
Yep.
I feel bad for Cal.
Feel bad for our audience.
I know. There's 17 people just ran away. I can see all that's left of them. All that's left of them are clouds of dust in their image.
Yeah. Larry conned himself into going to Bam Bam's first matches into Japan. Says Taro.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Babysit them really because they know their stuff when they get there. It's like a big family. The whole town is a wrestling family. Now South Jersey in general has a lot of tough guys.
Now I understand that. I can't.
Could I be part of the Secret Wars? Could the Mole Man get a co-starring role in this miniseries?
He's just he's using this time to try to up his, like, the Mole Man hasn't been appearing in comics lately.
Okay, if Modok can get a TV series, why can't Mole Man, you know?
Yeah. Why can't Mole Man?
So this is Kevin. So Kevin Feige is a dead ringer for Pretty Boy Larry Sharp, is what we're saying. Yeah. Got it. Okay, I just needed to know my scene, and now we're good. Echo. Who the fuck ever's heard of Echo?
People still watch this shit? The kids are screaming for Mole Man. They want the Mole Man.
Look, Echo's already blind. Mole Man's also blind. Perfect crossover. Wait, sorry, Daredevil's blind. Echo's deaf. Mole Man plays Daredevil.
We're the blind characters, the blind defenders.
I love it. Where do I sign the check?
I've had to contend with so far.
They could fight me and my moloids. The action figures alone.
Oh, by the way, I come with 30 moloids. It's non-negotiable.
Minimum.
Non-negotiable.
Think they'll work cheaper than the already very little pay you give your employees, MCU. Think about
Yes.
This is an ancient feat of Var. God damn it.
it. That is a terrifying image. I'm sorry. That's
Keepers creepers.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm about. You know what? I don't care what you say. I'm about to snap my waistband. Right now.
Get out of here. Moolah.
No, Dick Graham. Look at that hair. Look at that helmet of hair.
So I was like, everything just feels so artificial here. Like they're all playing.
Yeah, Moolah was like one of those things where like.
Did Marla just fart? Or Moolah just fart? It sounded. I go back and listen to that later.
This is a Betty Page anti-smoking ad.
Yeah, it's many years later.
Remember when I was
like, you go on your childhood and remember like some old animation and you're like, oh, this gave me nightmares as a kid, and he feels like a really like botched claymation animation.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's like Spitting Image. It's like we're watching Spitting Image. That used to scare the shit out of me,
so
man.
realistic, guys.
I've said that 1,000 times.
No, this is
Spitting
why
Image is nightmare material.
No, but this is why I like practical puppetry so much more than the CGI bullshit. Look at this. This is amazing.
Realistic.
Someone managed to give her more wrinkles than Moment.
I got ripped off again by these cocksuckers.
Kelly's fighting with his connection right now. You could see him. He was getting a little choppy.
I thought he just really was sick of Moolah already, which I respect and understand.
Yeah. No, he's like,
oh, wow. Because it's like you notice that it's Dick who's interviewing him and not Cal.
Yeah, they don't get along. Okay. Another thing, Parm. Okay, so Kelly and I had a podcast with this guy Pete and the guy Parm.
That's what everybody was talking about earlier. Yeah, Titans.
And I managed to get an interview set up with Cal Rudman in his 90s. Went through his handler. It was me and Parv. He took over right away and just roasted us, but brought us into stories, and it was amazing. And halfway through it, I remembered that Parv's recorder was not reliable, and maybe I should turn mine on. And we only booked him for 30 minutes. And he stuck with us another 30 minutes, and we went back, and yes, we lost the first 30 minutes of this. It's one of the great heartbreaks of my life. Mm-hmm. And because in that 30 minutes, he describes him and Moolah getting into it at ringside, and he might have, in my memory, he calls her the C word.
The hard C, a C sharp.
The hard C word, but it was very close. Oh, Moolah, that, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever fucking heard. And given her reputation,
not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
Keeps me young, keeps me happy, and makes me moolah. And that's the name.
I don't have another time.
Kevin says this interview is going to want to make Daredevil wish he was deaf instead of blind. Hey-o.
I remember when she kicked the bucket, Whoopi Goldberg honored her. Although that belt is fucking dope. That's kind of, okay. That's kind of the belt the Parm should have, with a nice little photo in the middle. Come on, with Tony Gurria hair.
The Parmian ship.
Just Malibu and Abe Lincoln taking turns slapping their own pictures on it back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm still wearing the belt. You just keep slapping it for me, so I can't take it off.
Thank you very much.
This is Cal Rudman.
Oh, so now it's Patterson, because he didn't say it was Patterson. Kelly, before he split, he said there was a. I think at least I don't think he did.
I can't recall.
Patterson, what a scumbag.
But he wasn't.
No, he was.
I don't think he was.
The ring boys with the ring boys, man.
He wasn't. That was the thing. It was the thing that drove me the fucking nuttiest about the Behind the Bastards is they tied him into that, and the thing was he was a sacrificial lamb because everyone knew he was gay.
I think both things can be true. He can definitely be a sacrificial lamb and also like
he might have been
Mahoney
aware of
himself
it.
went on
He might,
record.
he was totally, because they were all totally aware of it. I'm not forgiving anybody, but they're all aware of it. Gorilla Monsoon's making fucking jokes on the air about, the Terry Garvin School of Defense and shit,
Yeah. The same way, like, there's, like, you find clips of people making fun of Jerry the King Lawler for being a pedophile on Raw itself. I'm like,
right.
I have not actually listened to the Behind the Bastards episodes, because while I like the podcast series a lot, I, like, a few episodes before that series aired, the main host referred to John Cena as an MMA guy, so.
It
I
was good. It was good. It was.
Yeah,
he brought people on who knew who.
Yeah, that's my main thing.
Kind of
like,
steer him right.
This guy normally does his research very well.
Yeah.
So, like,
well,
as long as it was informative, that's the main
here's the thing, though. He does his research really well, but he has no idea about wrestling, so he has no idea what research is.
Yeah, that's where my worry comes from.
So there were some books he's like, and in this book it says this, and these all seem like reputable books, but it just turned into a lot of weird stories. But like, he totally dives deep into the Vince Playboy interview, because that's on the record, and that's some good listening to.
Yeah.
Power of having stuff on the record. You got to ask those questions.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I had a thing I was gonna say actually, but no, that's not true. Robert Evans knows Balls Mahoney, and Balls Mahoney specifically in Ole Hemlo. If you asked him about wrestling before that podcast series.
That's right. I remember hearing that.
That's funny.
Because he thought the name was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sure he made it. I also probably made like Toots Mont. I can't remember his last name, but
Toots
Mont, the legendary promoter.
Yes.
I'm sure he was also giggling because like his name is Toots during it, because that sounds like.
Hey, if you had giggled at Toots Mont's name back then, you would have ended up with a bullet in the back of your head in an alley behind Madison Square Garden. Jesus Christ. You don't fuck with Toots, see? Jesus. Parm, let me give you one warning. You only getting one. You're getting one. You don't fuck with Toots. Got it?
Okay, I hadn't heard that take about him getting just kind of thrown, but
No, that's not a take.
It was always
happened.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he wasn't aware of everything, but that happened. That's real.
But he wasn't going after young boys either.
No, he was going after young men.
But like holding them back. Holding them back if they wouldn't take his advances.
No, that's
the accusations. Yeah, that's the Barrio. That's the Barrio. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, hold on a second. But that's why Barrio didn't get ahead, because he did. Pat was also in a fucking committed relationship for fucking 40 years too. So.
Yeah. Oh yes. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's like, Barrio would have been a superstar if he had let Pat Patterson.
Oh no, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. Yeah, no, I know. I don't believe anybody, but I think it's kind of close to what Parm was saying, is that maybe he did get lumped in a bit more than he should have, but I'm sure, like, if it's a fucking culture of, do this and you advance, then why the hell wouldn't he abuse that just as much as anybody else?
Okay, because just because you work for the pervert doesn't mean you're, or even around a bunch of perverts doesn't make you a total pervert. It makes you someone who's willing to turn the other eye about what the perverts are doing, and that's almost as bad. But
we love.
Let's talk about what do we got here? It's Johnny Rods.
We love Johnny Rods. We love Johnny Rods, and I wanted to see him against a young Stan Hansen here. We always try to get in a Johnny Rods.
You know what, Travis? That's unpredictable.
Yeah, we didn't get it at the beginning there.
Good choice.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that, pal. Glad you're back.
Since we were robbed of a Rod's match at the Spectrum.
Yeah. When you said that, I was like, good. I got our boy Johnny coming later. And this footage is clean AF.
It looks great, man. Blassie's
this is from around Easter. The same time as the.
It was about a month earlier. About a month earlier, or a few weeks.
Blassie's Easter egg looking outfit just jumping off the screen.
Yeah,
looks great.
Is this Allentown?
Either Allentown or Hamburg.
Hamburg, yeah.
You know what surprised me in the beginning, earlier in the beginning of the match.
Pat on commentary.
I'm thinking it's Allentown, yeah. Yeah, it'll be Vince and Pat.
Yeah.
Blassie.
Blassie's beauties at this time. It was Hansen, Killer Khan, the Hangman, and who was the fourth guy? Oh, Hogan.
Wow.
Hogan. What a stable.
Yeah, what a stable.
Crazy.
That's a pretty great...
nice transition move.
Okay, Blassie's...
He won.
Blassie's beauties might be the most underrated stable of all time. All winners.
Look at this. Fuck this shit. Hansen no selling everything. I love it.
Take down in midair. Jesus.
Yeah.
Forcing nature.
Jeez. I love Johnny Rodz, man.
Oh, that Hansen is a mean hombre.
And in New York, it was him, Hansen and Backlund had a great 3-match series at this time.
Okay, when I was watching Tony Gurria as a loser guy on Saturday mornings as a babyface, but he was the best one. Johnny Rodz was the heel, and he was the best heel of the heel.
This is a fucking awesome squash match.
Yeah. There it is. No. 1, 2, 3, count to 100. Yeah, I love it. Fuck yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, we're finding lots of good stuff tonight.
Godspeed, he fucking tried.
Yeah. Hansen got a little lucky, I think. Hey, fuck you, Hansen. Get the fuck out of here, Hansen. Yeah. You're a piece of shit, Hansen. I'll follow you to the locker room, Hansen.
Go home and fuck your fat wife, Hansen. Yeah, I read the magazines.
Tough guy.
Yeah, Kevin, love this.
I got a fat wife and 13.
This Johnny Rodz channel is a fucking gold mine, man.
The Johnny Rodz channel is one of the
Johnny
things,
Rodz is like a new discovery.
It's one of the great finds.
Well, he wrestled everybody from the time. And there's some stuff even from LA when he was Java Rook on that channel.
Well, yeah, there is. Of course there is. Because I'm looking farther and farther into the past for future Mystery Titans theaters. As
he
Kelly
goes up,
out to us.
He goes up again. He goes up again. Not this time, pal.
Oh,
yeah.
There's that.
It's like Kobashi. That's like the way one of his Kobashi matches finishes with a lot more oomph behind it. But that's one of the all-time great matches. Him and or like they had a good series of matches. We gotta get there's where we gotta spend our money on.
Need some, there he is.
Looking great. Is he still running that? All right, now here we go. Here is a show that everyone on tonight's show, or here is a match that everyone on tonight's show was at.
Oh, this was the Friday show before Halloween.
Candy, number
Casey
one.
Ferreira's second match.
I wasn't at this one.
Yeah, you were, because
he was outside. He was outside.
This was Johnny's night, right? Yeah, no,
right. This was my debut.
I was outside the arena. Yes. Venue.
Because you know why? Because even Kelly, is one of our best friends, but he couldn't get a ticket. That's
it.
I was begging, and I was just told.
And we were like, "Man, dude, I know, we drove around all day and got lost around a protest, but I can't let you in, man. I'm telling."
No, I know.
Talk to Max.
I've never had this stroke in Vancouver.
And Max spit in his face. Max spit in his face from the fire escape, just as much. Again, another legendary
and that's
aim.
How I got COVID for the second time.
That's when we knew that Max had become a wrestling promoter.
But I do want to say, so
at the beginning, the snowball started.
Everyone knows who Nicole Matthews is, obviously,
of course,
and slowly but surely, everyone's going to know who Casey Ferreira is. He's in LA right now, training at the New Japan.
Really? Nice.
Dojo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, there I am, sort of. I remember.
The
Okay,
second
I was
ever Boom
I was having such a good time while being like super focused, but I was watching this match because this match caught my eye. I was like, I knew that it was his only second match ever. I knew who Nicole was, and I was interested to see how this was going to go, and it was fantastic for all of those reasons. Like, look at this, his second match, and I hate saying carried, but a pro with a guy with this much potential talent putting on a match like this, second match ever, it was super impressive. I've been to a lot of wrestling shows. It was super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and the great Justin Morris said on commentary, we're so happy to
that's awesome.
Finally get him. Former guest on Mystery Titan Theater.
That's right. That's right.
Look at those lunatics.
I had my phone charging on that table over there, and there was a couple of like Casey's friends or family even like sitting right behind. And after the show was over, they took the time to go, hey, we thought you did a great job. I was like, oh, thank you very much. The next morning, I'm in the Vancouver airport waiting as my flight's delayed. And I'm just looking at my phone for like the picture of like that Travis took of me. And I go, what's this? They photobombed my phone with a lot of like thumbs up and peace signs and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Vancouver hospitality.
That's right. And then I landed back in America, and well.
Well, by the end of the year, Johnny, you may have to become a permanent resident of the Great White North.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's not looking good right
now.
Well,
here's the thing. I have a vested interest in staying here to take over the compound in South Jersey of resistance. So
well, and you live in a pretty liberal part of the States anyway.
Yeah, I'm in Colorado, and Colorado's still, a gem in the surrounded by red.
The last holdout in the
where the weird
these early shows. These early shows seem so empty because we weren't sure about.
You weren't overselling it like greedy the greedy wrestling promoters you become.
Fire hazard every time now.
Just jamming him in.
I really, if this ended up being overhyped, and that just means there's just no hope for indie wrestling.
No, nice.
And Boogie, and there's Boogie, another former Mystery Titan Theater guest, Boogie Knight.
Dude, I am so glad Parm joined us tonight. But when we were like going, hey, do we have a guest? I was about to say, what's Boogie up to? And then
Boogie's working tonight.
There's a show tonight, so I hope he's wrestling on it.
Yeah, I think he is.
Cool. That's cool. But 15 minutes later, Travis goes, Parm's in. I'm like, oh, cool.
On that note, though, we got to get Boogie Night in the ring in the boombox someday.
Yeah.
I feel it'd be a pretty good Rumble entry, but
keep your eye out. Boomiverse.
The Boogieverse is entering.
The Boogieverse. It's right there.
Dude, just if you can manage to just get Jimmy Valiant a passport and $50, you could bring him in as his manager one night only. It'd be the greatest thing of all time.
This is awesome.
I am the boom booker here, so
what do you call this? What do you call this hold, Parm? It's a crossface of sorts.
Crossface with it's the chicken wing guys. Kind of bending the arm somewhat chicken wingy.
It's the place the Bible.
The Duke, lied to that. I'm worried that either the Republicans or the Democrats will win the U.S. election. Yeah, me too, pal.
Yeah,
me too, buddy.
Hey, believe me. There's definitely one worse than the other here. So
I don't know.
They
didn't do anything.
I don't want to ruin this great match with the fact that I live here, so shut the fuck up. And I know what I'm fucking talking about. There's Unless
Oh!
Oh, there we go. Luckily, it was October and it was not very hot in there because you could not wear that full giraffe. Listen to me. The costume in that place, apparently, right? Because I didn't think it was that hot in there when I was there. But
yeah,
apparently,
but last June it was a fucking scorcher there, man. Surprised people didn't.
Oh, nice splash.
Out.
I mean, some do every time Wild Eyes comes on stage. Oh.
Hey, there's a sexy fat man in the background in a purple suit. Hey,
right next to a cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I look like you can tell your son it has a satellite dish.
God, I remember right at the beginning when we were having microphone problems, like, oh, we're going to have to pass one back and forth. Shit. Got him working at the last minute.
We'll reverse it once more.
Fuck yeah.
Boom.
Really good finish, too. Great stuff. Great stuff. That was my match of the night at the time.
That was really good.
Yeah.
The last Boom show I went to, Casey had a star-making turn in the main event. Big victory.
You know,
I gave him a huge high five afterwards. It was sweet.
From my perspective at ringside, every match was 5 stars, guys. But if there was one that was 5 1/4, it was this one. It was no offense, Parm. This was my favorite match of the night, and I was just sitting there going, "Fuck yeah, that ruled."
I don't even know I was booked for a match on this show. Let me check.
You were. You worked Billy Swade.
Oh, is this that?
Wow.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite Boom show matches.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a match I also enjoyed a lot.
Okay, because I was in the crowd watching Nicole Casey. So, wait, was I?
I don't see.
No, I was because I had to second Abe at the opener, so I was already out there.
All right, so this is our.
All right, guys.
This was
time for
after last show. Steve mentioned the old Malenko.
We both did. It was Steve and
Titantron. But yeah, this will be our kind of way we sign off here. I'm gonna
time for Double O Malenko. His last gimmick.
Parm, can you tell everybody your socials before I raid somewhere?
All right. Parm_Singh_Man on Instagram. At ByBoyParm on Twitter. Which after that handle, 5 different wrestlers came up to me and asked me what the fuck "bye boy" meant. Can't
you read?
Apparently not. So you can find me on Twitter there if you want me to get beat up to 800 followers on the Hell side. I'm at 799 currently.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, it's got to happen tonight. Tonight's the night.
Dusk Pro Wrestling will be announcing a show in the next week or two where you can watch fan favorites like Travis Williams and Daniel Maccabi and new faces like Joey Tran wrestling, and that'll be announced eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, for sure.
Yeah. Dusk rocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someday so you have to pure income and buy a ring and actually run regular shows, but some days far from now.
Okay. Cool. So as we're getting to wrap things up, also remember everyone. Hey, if you enjoy the show, check out the Patreon. For just a couple of bucks a month, we're providing content out there. A lot of fun shit. Really, the special match with Steve from last time might be one of the funniest things we've ever done. Almost as funny as Malenko spelling out. What does it spell out here, guys? Hold on. Magnificent.
Arousing.
Lovable. Dean. Exciting, notorious, kinky, outrageous.
Yeah, follow the Twitter. Follow us on all the socials and stuff. But yeah, definitely follow the Patreon, guys. We will be there later tonight. Thanks.
And I'll give you a teaser because I joined the Patreon, And so that means I get a choice. And you notice, guys, I've been building up the FBI for a while. And tonight we're getting one of my favorite ECW matches of all time. It's a 6-man between Tommy Dreamer, Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten versus the full-blooded Italians of Tracy Smothers, Little Guido, and the Big Don himself, Tommy Rich. It's 28 minutes of bullshit, and it's the greatest match of all time.
All right. I'm going to send you guys to Mr. Yeti. Have fun with him. He's awesome.